And out front now, Clark Brewster. He is the attorney for Deputy Robert Bates. And thank you very much for being with me, Clark. I appreciate your time. I want to begin with our breaking news. In the statement that Bates provided to investigators, he said that he, quote, received training by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department in response to active shooters. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Department, of course, today tells out front they have no record that Bates ever attended one of these classes. Is Bates telling the truth here?
Yes, it was in Washington, D.C. I've got a certificate that he attended and that the sheriff lectured there. So
was it with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department, or was it just a sheriff from the department? I'm just trying to understand what the nuance is, because they're saying he absolutely did not train with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, he didn't. Sheriff Arapio lectured in Washington, D.C. at a seminar, and he attended that seminar with other law enforcement officers for training.
Well, he said that he received training by the Maricopa Sheriff's Department on response to active shooters. That's a quote from him in a statement. So we called them, and they said that he didn't.
Well, it was the sheriff himself, and he gave lectures across the country. And Mr. Bates attended one of those a few years ago. So what I'm saying is, you launched off an attack. You said, we learned today that he had misrepresented his training. How did you learn that with that fact verification?
Well, we did. We called the sheriff's office, and they said that he didn't.
Okay.
So we've been talking about training. But I think at the heart of all this, Clark, it goes back to something more significant, or two things that are more significant. One of them is his age, right? He's 73 years old. Reflexes slow with age. We all know that. It starts much younger than that, in your 30s and 40s. It is one of the key reasons most officers retire at around 50. So there's a fundamental question here as to no matter what training he had, was he qualified to be there?
All right. Let me ask you, how long ago was it that we had a 78-year-old commander-in-chief of this country that was in charge of the military?
Who also had medical issues.
Okay, but he was the commander-in-chief. You don't condemn a person that's 73 years old, that's mobile and fit like Bob Bates, and his willingness to serve his community. And he met every training regimen. He met every requirement. And all he did was give of himself. Not only do you learn in training, but you give by service. He's on mostly crowd patrol or backup or documenting, a scribe, that kind of thing.
All of those things, though, might make a lot of sense, but what about carrying a live weapon? I mean, we're getting at that very specific point here. No one's questioning whether he was there out of good intent. Everybody knows he was there out of good intent and he wanted to make a difference. But there is a crucial question as to whether he should have been carrying a live weapon.
Aaron, you're in New York, we're in Oklahoma. It's a concealed carry state. These citizens believed in their Second Amendment rights. He could carry a weapon. He's a CLEAT certified officer, independent of this office. He provided service. He made an honest mistake. He owned it and confessed immediately with great remorse.
Okay, so let me get to the broader point here. Obviously, you know, they're disputing that one point, but I understand your point. It's a lot of things. In fact, I know he was required to have, what was it, 480 hours of field training. Tulsa County Sheriff's Office itself, department says he only had 300 hours of training. The Tulsa World newspaper, as you're very well aware, today is reporting that supervisors at the sheriff's office falsified his training record, said he was certified when he wasn't. What's your response to that?
Well, I've seen the affidavit that was submitted. It's a redacted, blacked-out affidavit signed by a guy charged with first-degree murder in an adjoining county who hasn't worked at the sheriff's office in 5 years. I don't put a lot of stock in that report or the credibility of who would further that report.
What about this issue, though, of the training? That the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office, all in, not one individual alleging this, the office says he had 300 hours of training. To be an advanced reserve deputy, you need 480.
That's false. The sheriff's standards are higher than the local standards in any other community that I know of. He sets a very high limit on training. Bob achieved that. The training hours logged here would be local training documented. The training that he received, he attended classes in Dallas, Washington, Florida, and other states that are documented by third parties.
So you're saying that it would add up to 480 hours?
Well, it will add up to in excess of that. because not only do you have the local training and the national training, but let's focus on the issue here. He wasn't involved in any kind of advanced detective or deputy work that day. He was a lookout. He was blocks away from the scene. He was to be there just as a containment officer. When the arrest was completed, he would come and help him take pictures. This is free service. The sheriff's office has 127 reserve officers that serve for free. Bob Bates is one of them. There was no training necessary under the circumstances of his duty assignment that day except to facilitate and help. This guy, after having guns drawn, bolted from the arrest, ran 2 blocks, and then fought with officers. Bates, it happened right at the side of Bates' car. This is captured on video. He came out and tried to use a taser to subdue him and mistakenly had his handgun. Immediately owned up and confessed the mistake.
All right, Clark Brewster, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Aaron.